Speaker of the House of the Illinois General Assembly is one Mr. Emanuel Chris Welch, and he's in the studio with me. How are you, Mr. Speaker?
Man, I am great, man. How you doing?
Not bad. How was the fair, the state fair? Was it?
I felt like I was melting like the butter cow.
Hey, right. Wait. I know you've been in the Bud Billiken parade. You probably had that same experience.
I've had that same experience.
That
parade will wear you out with all the heat and the distance. It's a good time.
And shake it. Let me tell you this. I saw Rahm Emanuel, his first year as mayor, walk the Bud Billiken parade. It's hot out there. He's shaking hands, he's walking the sidelines, shaking hands and stuff. So by the time he got down where I was, I'm on 48th Street, the parade starts on 39th. By the time he got to me, he was like worn out, sweating like a baby. He was tired. He was getting agitated, Rob. He was getting agitated. I was like, hey, Mr. I was like, hey. I was like, calm down, dude. He was all mad.
You got to work out for that.
You got to work out for that. So when Mayor Johnson took over, I called him the morning of the parade, and I was like, stay in the center. Do not go to the sidelines and shake hands. You will be warned because it's physical. You're trying to,
parades are work if you do it.
Man, they are work. Did you get a corn dog? Is that tradition? You got to get a corn dog.
You got to get a corn dog. And my daughter Marley will tell you got to get the fried Snickers.
The fried, okay. They say they fry everything
fried
down
Snickers, fried Twinkie, corn dog.
Did you try any of that?
As we age, Matt, you be careful with what you try.
Mr.
But I
Speaker,
still try the corn dog.
I'll tell you right. I couldn't resist a corn dog myself if I would.
Ketchup.
Now I saw you with a. I think you had on a red Welch shirt. Did I see that?
Winners do the work.
Winners
do the
and a hat, right?
Yeah.
All right. I want to get a now. So I didn't know at the time when I saw you with this shirt on, but I Googled you before you came in. So let me find out what's going on with the speaker later. So I Googled. So now I understood the shirt. So I Googled you, and one of the first things that came up is like battle going on between Springfield's powerhouses, and I was like, so you got a committee race coming up?
Well, it's the 7th district
committeeman race,
state committee person,
right?
And let me take a minute to explain that. There are 17 congressional districts across Illinois. 14 are represented by Democrats, 3 are represented by the other party. And I live in the 7th congressional district,
right,
which for years has been represented by the great congressman, the legendary Congressman Danny K. Davis.
Absolutely.
He has served as our congressman, and he's also served as our committee man.
Mm-hmm.
Each congressional district has a committee man and a committee woman. Mm-hmm. And those people are elected from the congressional district to serve on the state central committee, which is like the board of directors for the Democratic Party of Illinois.
Like the Illuminati, I call it.
Yeah. But they are the voice. They are the ones that give direction. Mm-hmm. They are the ones that are responsible for building the Democratic Party. Mm-hmm. And you got to imagine a voice like Congressman Danny K. Davis.
Absolutely.
Is very powerful at that table. And after next year, he's not going to be there. He reached out to me a couple of years ago and said that this was going to be his last term, and he asked me to take a look at it and consider running. And when Congressman Davis calls, you listen. And
well, he did that for a reason, though, because that responsibility is to build the party, right? Voter registration, getting people, and so if he's going to tap somebody, he's tapping somebody that he trusts can do that.
Absolutely, and I'm honored that he looked at me,
right?
Because I got to tell you, as a party, we got to figure out what we're doing wrong. We can't blame the other people. What are we doing wrong that's losing the brothers and sisters out there? Why are they not voting? When they are voting, why would they go and vote for a guy like Donald Trump and vote against their interests? And so we have to have people at that table that understand our communities, that are voices for our communities, and that will help us bring those people back into the party. And that's why I'm running to be that voice at the table. Break
down the demographics of the 7th congressional district, because I know when I lived in Bronzeville, I think it reached me all the way at one point. Now, I don't know if the new mapping has changed that, but I was in Bronzeville. So Danny Davis, I think even Curtis Collins before him was my Congress representative.
That's right.
So where boundaries and all that, where are we with the 7th now?
7th Congressional District is a historically black seat. You just talked about it. It was represented by the legendary Curtis Collins before the legendary Danny K. Davis.
Right.
And we need to make sure the seat stays a black seat. That is a voice at the table for black people, both the congressional seat and the state central committee seat. And the district runs from west, where I live, in the hillside, through Proviso Township, Maywood, Bellwood, Broadview. Again, historically black communities, large black populations, goes through the heart of the west side, the big wards like Emma Mitz's ward and Talia Farrow and Jason Irvin, and so 27, 28, 29, heart of the west side, and goes into the south sides where Pat Dowell and a number of well-known alder people represent. Also, a lot of Latino wards as well. Alderman Mike Rodriguez and Byron Cicho Lopez and Jesse Fuentes.
Oh, yeah.
It's a predominantly black district, 60% black district, large Hispanic population, some Asians in the community as well, because the 11th ward, which makes up Chinatown is in the district. It is a district that is predominantly black and brown people. And it's important that we continue to have that voice at the table.
Well, here's what makes sense. And I know the congressman knows this as well. All those wards you just mentioned and the aldermen that you mentioned, you already have established relationships with them.
I have relationships with every one of them.
I know, right? So I'm in the wisdom of our brother, Congressman Danny Kaye. He is not just making a tap on the shoulder for unvalued reasons. He's doing it for very significant reasons.
I have the endorsement of over half of them already.
Of the aldermen that you talked about.
Yeah,
all right.
My brother Walter Burnett.
I know, right?
A former 27 ward alderman.
I know, right? Well, there we go.
Here's another one. I got to give a special shout out to Walter.
All right. Speaker of the House, Chris Welch in the studio with us. We're going to chop it up on some more state business. But you know what is interesting, because I joked about the Central Committee being like the Illuminati, right? Because I'm glad you explained, because a lot of people don't know, right? And if it's on the ballot, you should know. You should know the responsibility.
You have to know who you're electing.
Exactly.
And part of my job is to get out here and educate people.
I love it. Speaker Welch, more with him when we return on the Matt McGill Show.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Blindster.com. Blindster.com sells custom blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices. Their blinds are handcrafted to fit your windows, and if they don't, for any reason, they'll remake them for free. Your satisfaction is always guaranteed at Blindster.com.
The flames may be gone, but the crisis is not over. In Altadena and Pasadena, over 7,000 homes and businesses were reduced to ash. Families are still displaced, still rebuilding, still hoping. WVON and WRLL are teaming up with Urban One, Reach Media, the Los Angeles Sentinel, and Brotherhood Crusade to support long-term recovery. Your donation can provide food, shelter, and hope. Visit brotherhoodcrusade.org to give. That's brotherhoodcrusade.org. Together, we can help rebuild lives one family at a time.
It's Cleopatra Draper.
No party weighs a bearer when it comes to Black excellence. Too often, I would get infuriated. I'm practically screaming at the television every time somebody Black asks this white man, where's our Black agenda? Help me understand, in what world can a white man construct an agenda that will work best for you? It is ludicrous on its face. I don't give a damn if it was Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, whoever. A white man can't understand Black man fears and tears. It is up to us to present what we want in our best interest, because you work for me, which is why I want us to critically think about the think tanks we do have, even though there are the minute, and strengthen them, because no white person can dictate my life. They can't even understand my life. Yesterday, I was so damn angry, I couldn't think, but because I needed an outcome, I just dismissed that Becky because I knew it was 15 more coming.
It's Cleopatra Draper, middays at 9 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Attention business owners. WVON is proud to support the 2025 City of Chicago Procurement Symposium happening Thursday, September 4th at Malcolm X College. Doors open at 9:30 a.m. This free event is your gateway to government contracting with a focus on professional services and tech opportunities. Under the theme, Partnering for Progress, procurement that powers opportunity, you will connect with decision makers, network with primes, and gain tools to grow your business. Don't miss exclusive workshops, panel discussions, B2B Connect, and a powerful fireside chat, all designed to support inclusive, innovative procurement opportunities. Register now at shy.gov Symposium 2025. That's shy.gov/Symposium 2025. Let's power opportunity together.
I'm Reverend Mitchell L. Johnson, host of Straight Talk Radio featuring My Community Plan Foundation. Join me Sundays from 7 to 9 p.m. as we discuss community transformation. From housing to energy to economic development, our mission is local, our effect is global. From the Simon Wiesenthal Center in Los Angeles to the DuSable African American Museum here in Chicago, you will be touched, educated, and informed. Straight Talk Radio, Sundays at 7 on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Mr. Ramirez, you watched the whole match from home. Tell us, how was the Xfinity Wi-Fi?
Elite. The Wi-Fi was booming throughout the whole match. Never had a doubt about its performance.
Is it true you had 3 screens going on at once?
TV for the game, tablet for the other game, and my phone for the memes. Everything smooth. Xfinity Wi-Fi is like a Dutch midfielder. Never loses the ball.
And you caught every minute of the action. What about lag or buffering?
Xfinity has the most reliable Wi-Fi with their best equipment included. Just as reliable as you know who's left foot.
Enjoy live sports, telenovelas, and more in Spanish or English with Now TV Latino free for 6 months when you get Xfinity Internet with 5-year price guarantee. Plus, add an included unlimited mobile line for a year. Visit Xfinity.com/NowTVLatino today. Offer ends 9/30. Restrictions apply. 300 megabit internet or above required. Now TV Latino and Xfinity Mobile require Xfinity or Now Internet. After promo, regular rates apply. Reduce mobile speeds after 30 gigabits of usage. Data thresholds vary.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON. Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Bond TV? It's everywhere on Roku.
So that is Patrice Rushen. She's coming up in the studio with Steve Silk Hurley. She's in town. She's going to be honored. There is a house music festival going on. Steve Hurley is going to tell us all about it. And the one and only Patrice Rushen is going to be in studio.
She's coming here?
She's coming in.
Next.
Yep. You're going
Patrice Russian.
The Patrice Russian.
All
You're
right.
going. You want to? There's a video circulating of somebody saying that Prince wrote, "I want to be your lover. I want to be your lover," about her.
Ooh.
Seriously. And I'm curious about
Ask
that.
that question.
It is going to be one of the questions asked. That is Speaker of the Illinois General Assembly, the one and only Honorable Emanuel Chris Welch, in the studio. Congressman Emanuel Cleaver is going to be joining us next week from Missouri, Mr. Speaker. I know you know his.
My man. I love his name.
I know, right? His seat is possibly going to be eliminated there as we talk about what's going on down in Texas with this redistricting. California is going to vote on it in their House today. That should get to the desk of Governor Newsom pretty soon. And Texas, their House passed a redistricting. I think, and you probably know this better than I think it's about to go to their Senate down there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's probably in their Senate today.
Is
Passed
that
the
right?
House yesterday. I think their Senate's going to take it up. They're being ordered by Donald Trump to find them 5 new seats.
Isn't that something?
Because they know their policies will cost them the majority next year
Mm-hmm.
if they don't rig the system. And I don't think people understand why the Texas Democrats did what they did. If they had just stayed in their state and gone through this process, we wouldn't even be talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
They came here. They knew they were going to be castigated by their Republican governor, who does whatever Donald Trump says.
Mm-hmm.
They came here. They shined a light on the issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's being talked about all over the country. And now you see, and it shows folks what California is doing is necessary. It's in
Mm-hmm.
response to Texas taking direction from Trump. And I really like the approach that Newsom is taking because he's asking the people to respond.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if you okay with what Texas is doing, okay, but we're going to give you an opportunity. We can address it by, responding in kind.
Mm-hmm.
And we want you to tell us we can do it.
You can tell he gets up under Trump's skin too. He this Californian, good-looking guy, younger than Trump. All the stuff that Trump wants to be is existent in Gavin Newsom right now. So you can tell everything he knows, and he's intelligent. He knows politics. He presses the right buttons on Trump, and it's going to be interesting to see how all of this plays out. How would that potentially, because President Obama has lent his voice to this effort in California to encourage the voters there to say, hey, look, this is something that we need to do. Potentially, how does this play out if this becomes a game of, hey, look, we got to match fire with fire in Democrats? Could this possibly reach Illinois in the same way?
Well, we have 17 congressional seats. 14 of them are Democrat, 3 Republican.
Right.
I think it'd be hard
to
get much more out of it here in Illinois. But there are places like California. You understand what's going on. They are taking away the voices of the people in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
They are eliminating seats that are represented by Black people like Jasmine Crockett,
mm-hmm.
so that another Republican can win the seat.
Mm-hmm.
They are trying to eliminate our voice from the discussions on the national level and add another rubber stamp for Donald Trump. The way you can combat that is with states like California that do have the ability to
play a little bit, have some space,
right? And we can pick up 6 seats in California on the other side.
I like the fact that you started off this interview talking about the importance of having Black representation, because as my listeners know, I've been on that big time. As I'm a defender of Mayor Johnson, because I believe the only way we change Black communities is when we have sustained Black power. Not just for 4 years. Hey, he was mayor for 4 years. Look, he did nothing. Well, it takes sustained power. Here you are, Speaker of the House, and people will judge you already. How does a Chris Welch have an impact on his community and for everybody, really? Sustained power. People will compare you to Mike Madigan in just one term, and it's like Mike Madigan had sustained power. That was the genius of what he did do, sustaining power and being able to build an organization that can make a difference. And so when you spoke to that about the committeeman seat, it stuck out to me, because today a lot of Black politicians period are afraid to say Black. And you spoke directly to that for that district. Black representation is important, and there's nothing wrong with you saying that, because some people think, yeah, but he's the speaker, he's not gonna speak in those terms. But yet you came right out and did.
Man, I've been saying black since I've been in this business. I demanded black representation at every level. If you recall, I was the one that led the fight for black and brown representation in corporate boards, and being at those corporate boards has changed the direction of a lot of major corporations because of our voice. There's a lot of companies that are sticking with their DEI initiatives because they got black board members in those rooms fighting for those initiatives. Target is suffering and losing money every day. Their CEO just announced that he's stepping away. He needed someone in that boardroom pushing him to do the right thing and stick with the communities that were buying in Target. And I think as long as we have folks in the room that understand us and understand our power, our economic power, our money has power, our voices have power, our votes have power, we can change a whole lot of things.
You mentioned it's 12:30. Well, I got a break, but you did. Let's come back. But and one example of that, you mentioned the school that was built in Proviso Math and Science Academy. Right. That happens because of a reason. Let's talk about it when we come back, because you were telling me how that's.
I just smiled because of that.
Right. Exactly. No, but again, we're talking about what sustained power looks like, right? And ability to put a school in there that's going to make a difference for the young people and the people of that community. All right. 591-1690 is the number to call. The speaker will take some calls. Patrice Rushing coming up, Steve Silk Hurley, and Speaker of the House Chris Welch. It's the Matt McGill Show on a Thursday. Jump on it, everybody.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, WVON TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.tv. WVON TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
LaDonna Ray, you know what day it is, right?
Come on, Atiwa, it's Relationship Thursday.
Ooh, that's right. And we're asking the real question. Do women really know what men want besides sex?
No.
My point exactly.
Anyway, and in studio, the powerhouse herself, Teresa Griffin, joins us live on the afternoon show.
Keep it locked right here on WVON.
The Talk of Chicago.
I'm Sally, a volunteer at United Way. I'm asking people around the neighborhood what they think this place needs. Excuse me, hi. What do you think this place needs?
I'd like to see more parking.
More playgrounds.
Free movies.
That's easy. Better restaurants.
And you, what do you think this place needs?
This place? More ice cream trucks.
Okay. How about you?
Wi-Fi everywhere?
I was thinking more money in the pockets of local families come tax time.
Can I change my answer?
I was just kidding about the ice cream.
Oh, that's way better. Now that you mention it.
When it comes to getting better tax refunds into the hands of local families, what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org, because great things happen when we live united. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
You guys know tomorrow Chuck D's coming in studio, the one and only Chuck D. He's going to be in town for an event on Saturday. We'll talk to him about all of that. Terry Jervis is going to join him, so we'll be talking a little history of Black music, hip hop, everything, and the impact that it has on our community, on politics. As you guys know, Chuck D with Public Enemy, politics and Black culture were impactful in what he rapped about, his lyrics, and all of that plays out. You guys, that is Black culture. That is what it's all about here on WVON. Speaker of the House, Chris Welch, in the studio with us talking. Now, before we went to break, the Proviso Math
and Science Academy. The Proviso Township High School District 209 has 3 high schools. Most people know the 2, East and West.
That's all. I thought it was a new name for East, but you're telling me this is a whole new school.
It's a whole new school.
Okay.
And when I was the chair of that board, I led the effort to build that new school. It's a selective enrollment high school, one of the best high schools in the state. And if you, depending on where you live, you play extracurricular activities at East or West. But it's a high academic performing school that I'm really proud of, and you got some exceptional Black and brown students coming out of there.
And I would imagine you have some exceptional educators that are there, that are
top notch,
right? That are.
But we have that in the entire district. I mean, obviously, we can always do better, but I'm proud of the educators that work in Proviso, and they support a back to school event that I do every year, and they do a great job, and kudos to them.
I know as speaker, you have to be, you've got a caucus. Your caucus is how many members big?
I have 78 out of 118 seats, the largest caucus in modern history. And, under my leadership, that happened.
So if the governor runs for president, then do you become, you become governor? Is that how it goes?
Well, maybe your folks will have something to say about that. Listen, on the federal level, the Speaker of the House is third in line.
Exactly.
Here in Illinois, that's different. But who knows? We've never had a Black governor before.
I know, but see, I think that's part of my point, though, right? Because I know it goes to whoever the lieutenant governor is going to be, but it would seem like the reason why it's the way it is with the federal government, that the Speaker of the House is third in line, is because they recognize the caucus building and they respect the legislative process, the interaction that you have to have and be in touch with everybody in the country. You have to be in touch with every district in the state. So being speaker is a lot like being governor in a lot of ways. You have to know the issues of every district in the state. Am I correct in saying that?
Well, I think you're correct. I think that's absolutely correct. I mean, as Speaker of the House, let's be clear. That's a constitutional position. It is a officer that's written into our Constitution, and the Speaker of the House, the Senate President, and the Governor lead branches of government. We are co-equal branches of government, and it's my job, if I'm doing it well, to know the issues all around the state, and that's why I'm in the midst of visiting my members all over the state. I know these districts. I know the members. I know their issues. I understand why they take some of the positions they take, and so I do think, as Speaker of the House, I'm well informed on what's best for Illinois and what the needs are. And certainly, a speaker is a very important person in the state.
Are you concerned about, this last election on November 5th? They were like, hey, there was some growth with Trump voters in Illinois. What have you been hearing as you kind of touch base with the rest of the state?
Listen, I have told folks, first of all, Trump won a second term with the lowest number of votes in presidential history. And that's because people stayed home and didn't vote. And why did people stay home? Because they're disenchanted with what we as a party, a Democratic Party, is doing. And I think not just on the national level, but even here in Illinois, we got to recognize that voters stayed home, and we have to try to find ways to address that. And that's one of the reasons why I put my name forward for this state central committee seat. I want to help bring voters back. I want your listeners to call in and tell me, what do they think? How do we bring the brothers and sisters back to our party and participate and elect people that share their values?
Well, I tell you what, the party has to be at a moment where I think it just a little adjustment here and there, better messaging. Don't overreact. You lost a presidential election. Just keep, hey, the good news is you got over 70 million votes. How do you build on that? Like you said, people stayed home. That was probably the biggest problem for the Democrats, and how do we touch and get the message out, especially to black men, like you said, and that 7th congressional district is, a very important district, I would imagine, in terms of voter registration and voter turnout, the points that we are making up about November 5th here. And so I would imagine your focus is going to be like, how do I get these young brothers and sisters out here to the polling place?
That's right. And I think organizations like WVON will play a large part of that. We got to get people registered. We got to get them to vote. Saying neither one of these folks matters to me is not the answer.
Yeah.
You got to get out there and vote, right? And if you're not paying attention and see what Trump and his people are doing with the big, bad, ugly bill that is now law, we're going to see hospitals close, hospitals that, serve black and brown people.
Oh, yeah.
Hospitals that serve poor people. We're going to see people that lose their food and nutrition assistance.
A speaker that serve poor white people.
That's right. I mean,
poor
has no color.
Right.
But, there's a lot of folks that voted against their interests, not just those that stayed home, but there's a lot of people that went out there and voted against their interests. And we're seeing how that's playing out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting when people realize our tax breaks went to one class of people, but then your out-of-pocket medical expenses have increased somehow for this group of people. And when that kind of hits in some of these rural areas, especially in these red states, or I should say in the purple states, it's going to be interesting to see, absent of any redistricting, how the midterm elections wind up. I'm very hard on the governor. I got to admit, man, I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable situation because I know you're in a position where you have to be a diplomat. But I am critical of the governor. I just feel like I'm just critical of him, man. I feel like there's some spaces where he can step in and be stronger. The whole cannabis thing, that's one issue. But I want to see the governor speak to issues that are more relevant to the black economy. And he does a good job with some, I don't want to call them superficial black issues, but issues like, the Anjanette Young thing, not superficial at all, not at all, big time, celebratory. There's a face to it, but I'm like, what does the black economy look like to a person who is very, very successful economically, and the value of having somebody like him as governor? I want him to speak directly to the black economy and the south and west sides of Chicago. And I want those state reps and state senators to be the one pushing him. And I think because he's got the bag, everybody's kind of like, oh, I'm only going to push so hard. But I think the governor should be just leading in that. There's flooding that's going on, man. He should be out there making sure that, hey, man, his money is coming. Help is on the way. I'm the top Democrat. This ain't going to happen. Without Chicago, we're Iowa. You know what I'm saying? And that's just from a black radio talk show host. You've got to be a little more diplomatic. But
well, listen, Matt, it's your job to push the governor. It's your job to push guys like me. That's your job. And I'm not going to fault you for doing your job. But let's be honest. Under Pritzker, we're a lot better off than we were under Rauner. We went 736 days without a budget.
That's right.
And the social safety net was destroyed. Since 2017, the investment in the pre-apprenticeship programs has increased for black people, men and women, 202%, according to studies that have come out recently.
That's good. All right, that's good to know.
And that's because we're pushing him.
Okay.
The monies that go into MAP grants for folks to go to college has led to more black folks going to college. What we're doing for universities like Chicago State University, it's happening because we're pushing him. So that's your job. Keep doing your job, but understand his job is to respond.
Right.
And I think in many instances he's responded, and we can better tell that story.
I will say this: when he gets fired up about Trump, he's good. He's good. When I see him, when he goes in, and when he went to DC, I thought he was good.
Yeah,
I thought he felt very comfortable. He has no problem. So when he goes in on Trump on that level, he seems to be good, and I became more of a fan. I just want to make sure our brothers and sisters down there in Springfield, just keep, like you said, keep pushing them. Keep getting them to see the black economy is important, man. Are we creating black businesses that are able to sustain create jobs. You know, I always say this, man, show me a black millionaire that you were able to make, right? You know, that's just me saying stuff like that. But we see from like mayors that certain businesses explode during their tenure. You know, Mayor Daley was the example
You're
of that.
talking about the Maynard Jackson way.
The Maynard Jackson way. Absolutely.
Specifically created Blackwell.
Yep.
Right. And if we're doing this right, you don't, not at the exclusion of other people, but you can create black wealth.
Absolutely.
Through the right policies. And, you know, that's what we're fighting for.
How do we build your organization? Because I said this months ago on the show, hey, we've got a black Speaker of the House, right? We need to build his organization, right? I think we now have a responsibility. We recognize how powerful that job is. Speaker Madigan showed us what that seat can do, right? You know, good, bad, ugly, however people want to characterize Madigan years, but, you know, Mike Madigan was reliable to a lot of constituents.
Yeah.
And a lot of black state reps and state senators were doing okay. Mike Madigan responded to them, right? So that seat is powerful. How do we make sure you get that same power?
Man, join my organization.
There you
go. You know, check out provisodems.com. Come to our Proviso meetings on the second Saturday of the month.
Is that
you
right?
don't have to live in Proviso to join.
That's what I'm talking about.
Come on out and join us and be a part of something good. We're building, and I think you do it by working together. Don't complain and sit it out. Get involved. You know, I'm embarking on a barbershop tour. I'm going to barbershops around the area, listening to folks to say, what can we do? And I don't want to just hear your complaints. I want you to tell me what the issues are, then help me solve them.
That's it. That's participation. All right, let's take a quick break here, and I promise you can go after this. Patrice Russian, I want you to hang around. She's going to come in. I
got to meet Patrice Russian.
She's going to get you a picture in there, right? 591-1690. Callers, hold on. We're getting to your calls when we come back. Chris Welch, Speaker of the House, General Assembly of the state of Illinois, right here in studio on the Matt McGill Show.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Summer goes by fast, and Metro is here to help you soak up the sun. With our weekend passes, you can take advantage of all the summer fun and get there faster for less. Whether you're headed to the beach, a ball game, and more, it's time to drive less and do more with Metro.
I needed a lot of help to take my next big step, but I got it at City Colleges of Chicago.
I didn't know what sort.
Still needed to earn my diploma.
I didn't think I was ready for college or able to afford it.
But with advising, funding, and amazing teachers, everything changed for me at City Colleges. You have a goal. Love it, live it with classes at City Colleges of Chicago. Apply today at tcc.edu/apply.
For over 20 years, Ed Crump Quality Air Service has been keeping Chicagoland comfortable with expert refurbishing, sales, and installation of heating, air conditioning, and steam or hot water boilers. Whether it's a repair or a full install, trust the pros at Quality Air Service. Visit our showroom at 8543 South Cottage Grove. Open Tuesday through Friday, 10 until 4, and Saturday, 10 until 1. Need help fast? We are available 24 hours a day. Call Ed Crump today at 708-334-6715. Ed Crump Quality Air Service, where comfort meets experience.
Ed Crump has built a state-of-the-art heating and cooling showroom in the heart of our community. Stop by Quality Air Service at 8543 South Cottage Grove or call 708-334-6715.
Ready to try something totally new? Book a hotel room or suite at Wind Creek Casino, and in one visit, you can go from casino playing and upscale gourmeting to hotel staying and spa getaway. Upgrade your casino experience today. Reserve your room. Get a table at Alto Steakhouse by the renowned Fabio Viviani, and explore the full spa menu at windcreek.com/visit. Must be 21 years or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, Patrice Rushen is in the house. Speaker of the House, Chris Welch, is going to get his picture. He had a corn dog down at the State Fair, among other things down there. Can I get one of those cool Welch red T-shirts?
It'll be here later.
What did it say on it again?
Winners do the work.
There you go. I like it. All right. He's
Winners
doing
do the work.
He's doing the work. No doubt about it. Our Speaker of the House, we talk about building power within our community. The Speaker told you, and tell them again how they can join your organization. I think it's important. Guys, we have seen Mike Madigan is a perfect example, right, of what sustained power looks like. We saw Mayor Daley, both Daleys. We saw both of them. I had Kevin Powell on the show the other day. I don't know if y'all remember Kevin when he was on Real World MTV. Oh, yeah. And Kevin, he said, man, the Daleys had a monarchy, man. In Chicago. He said, y'all had the father and the son, right? But what does sustained power look like? We look at those communities and we see it. Emanuel Chris Welch is our Speaker of the House right now. First Black speaker in the state of Illinois, coming from our community, and we need to show people what sustained power look like. Joining the organization again.
ProvizioDems.com.
All right, I love
reach out and touch us. And,
all right.
Let's be clear. We need to build power.
Yes.
And I don't want a monarchy. We don't need any kings. That's what Trump's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
But we need democracy, and people need to understand that's a verb. We need action.
We need action, especially right now.
Right now,
more
than ever.
The importance of right now cannot be lost. I was on a panel a couple of weeks ago. Roland Martin, this sister Joteka Edie. Have you guys ever heard of her? Win with Black Women, super young lady. This sister Janae Nelson, who's president of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. Just heavy, Congressman, Congressman Kelly, Congressman Jackson, and all of them talked about the importance of right now. Hey guys, we can't wait around to see what's going to happen in 2028. It's happening right now. It is, Project 2025. They're a quarter of the way through that document, and they're moving with speed as far as getting their things together. All right, let's take a couple of phone calls. Dr. Rosita, I know, wants to talk education. What's going on, Dr. Rosita? What's on your mind today? Rosita. Yeah, she's up. All right.
Yeah, I'm here, Matt.
Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, there you go.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to just say to the speaker, thank you for asking the question of why Black people are leaving and really listening to know that there are people in grassroots community that are totally unhappy. And I listen to the station all the time. I don't do politics because I do, I put Black people first in everything. So I'm not a political person, let me say that. But there are reasons in terms of education that Black people are leaving the party. And I write books about it. I try to, get the message out to why that is happening. And a lot of the things, the education factor is a big thing. There's so many broken promises in education, the school closings, the teacher union issues, the charter school, the curriculum. There are just so many issues that need repair. And repair needs to be done by the parties that affected and brought about changes that negatively impacted our education system. And unfortunately, that was done by both parties. But when you give 95% of your vote to a party, you do expect some kind of consideration. So that is on the education. I mean, you can get my book, The Literacy Gap, which talks about what we need to do for our Black children. And I'm not talking about Black and brown, because the Browns have done what they need to do. That's why their children are moving forward, and we haven't. And then we need to talk from a historical perspective. So I have books out there, Dr. Rosita Chitano on Amazon. Read them. Find out what we need to do education-wise.
Rosita's been advocate for Black teachers being in schools. Yeah.
Well, I'm a big advocate of that. I mean, first of all, look at me. I say it every day. If you see it, you can believe it. And if you believe it, you can achieve it too. And, I do think Black educators are important because so many Black students need to be able to relate to them. And there are these implicit biases that folks just aren't aware of.
Yeah.
And Rosita, thank you for your call. And I'm gonna order your book, The Literacy Gap, today. I'm a big reader. I'm gonna order it. And I do want to say, Matt, I agree with her. We got to address the education system. Our schools.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
Our schools deserve more. Our kids deserve more. I'm the first one to tell you that. And that's why I believe the evidence-based funding formula that I supported in 2017 has led to a whole lot of schools getting closer to 100% adequacy. But we're not there yet. And I think that, we can't be satisfied until we get there.
Dr. Rosie, she's critical to union. She feels like we lost a lot of Black teachers. And her fight is.
Let me say.
And I appreciate her standing up for Black teachers. Rosita and I, we've, gone back and forth, but I know that the children are her most important issue.
I appreciate you. Bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rosie.
But thank you. But can I just add this last thing?
Real quick.
Our problem isn't with this particular caucus. So what happened over Black teachers happened over a 20-something year period. And there were 2 times we lost 14,000 Black teacher positions with the combination of things that have gone on since 1995.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sister, as always. Brother Mike, welcome to WVON. What's on your mind?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good, brother.
We don't have very much time with the speaker. I talk to the speaker all the time, but I know Cam Howard is on the line. Could you snatch him up right now? And then he has something he wanted to say to the speaker.
Cam, all right. You didn't want to. I want to give you your opportunity.
No,
I know.
I'd rather give it to him. Just put me on hold and then just put him up, please. Thanks.
That's a familiar voice.
That's familiar. All right, hold on. I'm running out of time. I'm assuming I'm looking. I see Howard here. Go ahead. Is that Cam?
Hey, Brother Matt, how's it going?
How you doing, man? And I'm short on time, Brother Cam. I got about a minute left.
Okay, so a minute can't do justice to the speaker's question, but it shouldn't be any surprise on why the Democratic Party is many members of the Democratic Party who are Black have exited the party. In 2021, we had research to show that 2.9 million Blacks weren't still in the Democratic Party, and that they were either going to vote third party, vote for Trump, or not vote at all. And that is exactly what took place. And 2.9 million is 20% of the Democratic or of the Black Democratic vote. About 15 million Blacks had voted in the previous presidential election, and 2.9 million or 3 million was about 20%, which they lost.
Right.
And the reason they lost those, Matt, 3 reasons real quick. One is that they didn't speak to the issue of reparations. We had tremendous political will. 3 top states in the country, with the 3 largest cities in the country, all had reparations commission. We had 217 confirmed votes in Congress. They didn't push the bill to the floor. The Democratic Party in their platform in 2020 had the HR 40 as an initiative. They didn't push it. That's number one. They didn't push reparations.
Hey, Cam, I got 30 seconds though, brother. I want you to get the question in.
The last one, I don't have a question.
Okay.
I'm answering the speaker's question. The last piece is that we didn't see the type of interest, action, attention, or resources that the illegal immigrants got. And that was another big issue that forced Blacks out of the election.
Let me have him address that real quick, though, brother, because that's a good point. How the immigrant situation is a big issue in Chicago that Mayor Johnson is dealing with. How are you seeing that statewide and in Springfield? How are you guys reacting to obviously what's a big issue for the mayor here?
I think the concern that is being expressed by Cam and others is a legitimate concern, and I think that's because we have to address that feeling, because the facts will show that we have been investing heavily in the Black community more than ever, especially since I've been speaker.
Right.
And we have to do a better job of showing them those facts about the pre-apprenticeships program.
That's right.
Those facts about Black enrollment in colleges and universities. We have to do a better job in getting out there, and that's why these conversations have to be had. Illinois is a welcoming state, and Abbott was shipping these people
Yes,
here
he was.
involuntarily, and
uncooperatively
in the
too.
middle of the
Yeah,
night.
I know.
Right? And so there had to be some level of response.
Right.
We're human and compassionate and decent, but we have to do a better job of explaining to folks what we have done for Black men and women.
You know what? You've made me like the governor a little better. You should tell. Not that he cares about what I think, but you have said some things that are concrete and that we can say, all right, Black Illinois, this is what's happening. The governor has been listening to Black representatives and he's been responding. We need more of that. And you're right. The governor should come on the show. I need to get him on here and talk this out. More importantly, build organization, guys. This brother has a good one. The largest caucus in the country. You can join his organization again.
ProvisoDems.com.
That's the Honorable Emanuel Chris Welch, Speaker of the House. Brother, thank you for coming in.
Matt, my pleasure.
I appreciate it, man. Here, go shake hands. I want you to go meet Patrice Rushen because she's coming. She's coming up next on the Matt McGill Show.
Happy Thursday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. CTU to hold rally calling out Governor Pritzker's CPS funding comments.